Are you going to rehearse the questions?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, so what's your favourite tipple? It doesn't have to be wine, it can be whatever you like.
My favourite tipple wine-wise is Chardonnay.
What's your favourite tipple overall?
Overall, probably Chardonnay.
Okay. Alright.
Or a Pinot Noir.
Yep. And what occasions would you typically drink wine?
Most evenings. Once 5 o'clock comes by, it's wine time.
Yep.
So I enjoy a glass of wine then.
A glass?
A couple of glasses maybe.
Yep. Any other times you drink it?
Only on occasions, perhaps, over lunch, out, or something special.
Do you change the varietal depending on the situation? Are you more likely to drink Chardonnay if you, or something else if you go out for dinner? Or is it
Yeah, if I went out for dinner and people were drinking Pinot Gris, I would drink that very acceptably. Sauvignon Blanc.
So you like the
But
wine?
I just recently prefer the red wines and Pinot Noir or even a Cab Sauv, very nice, and Merlot.
Okay. Would you classify yourself as a baby boomer?
I guess I would.
What does that term mean to you?
It means you're old. It means somebody born in pre the 50s, really.
Okay. In previous generations, hitting 60 was seen as old, but things have changed. How do you see it?
Well, I see the current 70 as being the old 55 to 60. I think people are much more energetic and much more health conscious these days.
Why do you think that is?
I think there's more freedom, and there's a bit more extra money, I guess, once the kids are off your hands and you're doing your own thing and your mortgage is repaid.
Would your peer group agree with that?
I think they would. Yeah.
And how do you think things are different from when your mum was 60? Do you think what was being 60 like back then? How did it differ?
Well, I used to think that 60 was old then. Now, of course, I don't. But I think people were a lot less healthy when my parents were 60. And I think there's a lot of money been spent on the exercise functions. There's a lot more dollars been thrown in that direction. And that wasn't really a major in my parents' time.
Yep. So you think your mum's attitude to being 60 was totally different to your attitude to being 60?
I think so, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. You can now get a wine that is full of flavour but lighter in alcohol. How does that sound to you?
Yeah, I think that would sound pretty good on occasions. You sometimes want to have a second glass, and perhaps if you're driving you really don't want to risk that. So if the quality and the taste were similar, I would go for that.
Yep. And just for that reason, just so you can have an extra glass, would be any other reasons?
It's probably a little bit more healthy.
Yeah.
We all have to watch alcohol intake, and if you can find something which is acceptable taste-wise and quality-wise, and it's got less alcohol, I think that's a good idea.
Okay, and how does the concept of living life to the full, but being able to at least drink responsibly, resonate with you?
I think it's essential these days. I think there are so many clowns on the road that we all have to be responsible.
Yep.
And I think being older, we're expected to be a lot more responsible.
Do you think you're more responsible now than, say, your mum was at the same age?
No, I don't think so. I think my parents were pretty responsible. And I don't just mean my parents, but people of that vintage are responsible. I think they lived in a lot more fear of the law in those days.
Yeah.
These days people seem to be able to do their own thing and not have the same worry about the legal issues and the law and that.
Yep. So you'd say they're more carefree?
Yeah, I think so.
More carefree across the board, or not just in the law?
I think more carefree across the board, yeah.
Yeah.
People are living longer and seem to be a little bit more healthy than they used to be. Life expectancy is getting longer, and we all try to live life to the full as long as we can.
Yep. Cool. All right. Nice.